Okay, we in 1 Kings 18 and 13. It said, was not it told my power what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Most High? See, Jezebel, this wicked woman, killed the prophets. She was killing the prophets of the Most High. How I hid 100 men of the Most High's prophets by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. So we fed them with bread and water. You can live off bread and water. This is what he did. Jezebel was killing the prophets. And he hid 100, 50 over here and 50 over there in a cave. And now thou sayest, go tell my power, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. He said, hey, he gonna kill me. And Elijah said, as the Most High of hosts liveth, as the Most High of army of angels liveth, behold, whom I stand, I will surely show myself unto him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house. He asked Elijah, are you the one that troubled Israel? He said, I ain't. Elijah told him, I ain't the one that troubled Israel, but you and your father's house. And that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Most High, and thou hast followed Baalim. You know, before it said Baal, which is Lord. I showed you that. Let me show you again. In the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, the first word, Baal. You see it, what it means? Lord. And they put it in the Bible. They know you're not going to call on Baal, but they put Lord. That's what it means. You got to stop saying it. That's why you see I'm replacing it with power here. You got to work on it, you know, because Exodus 23 and 13 in the law said we don't let these other names of these gods come out of their mouth. So 1 Kings 18 and 19. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel. And the prophets of Baal, how many? 450. So you got 450 prophets of Baal that's down with Jezebel, Ahab's wife, and the prophets of the groves, 400. So that's 450 and 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. You hear that? Which eat at Jezebel's table. Her thinking that she's a prophetess. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If the Most High be the Most High, follow him. But if Baal or Lord, as I showed you, that's what it means. They just got it written in the Bible and have you calling on Baal and not realizing when you calling on Lord. I just showed you. Look at any Bible dictionary, it'll show you the same thing. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Most High, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. You hear that? 450 men that do what? That eat at Jezebel's table, following whatever she tell them to do. Canaanite goddess. Following whatever she tell them to do. Say, let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And call ye on the name of your gods. And I will call on the name of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who he said that's his name forever and memorial to all generations. Well, you see they got Lord there, see? still represent who? Baal. And the Most High, the answer is by fire, because he is a consuming fire. He's fire from his waist up and fire from his waist down. Let him be the Most High. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves and dress it first. But ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under it. Say, call on the name of your gods. You got the bullock on the wood, and call on the name of your gods, and see if your God's going to bring forth the fire and consume the bullock. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal, from morning even unto evening, unto the noon, saying, O Baal, O Lord, straight up, either or. Hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them. Elijah started making fun of them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or a prayer vision, perhaps he's sleeping. Maybe he's asleep. He's on a journey somewhere. Or prayer vision, he's sleeping. Maybe he's asleep and must be awake. You got to wake him up. And they cried aloud. They got louder and louder. Their voices got louder and louder and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances. They started cutting themselves with knives and lances till the blood gushed out upon them. They was cutting themselves till the blood gushed out of their bodies. And it came to pass when midday was past, after it was in the afternoon, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice. So they crying to Baal all the way to the evening sacrifice. Man, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Most High that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, unto whom the word of the Most High came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. So they pouring this water on this sacrifice, this bullock that it cut up and put on this wood, and put it on the wood. And he said, do it the second time, so do it again. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time, 3 times. And the water ran round about the altar. It's just running all over everywhere. And he filled the trench also with water. Got a trench around it, filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Most High Yahweh of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, let it be known this day that thou art the most high power of Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Most High, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the most high power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Most High fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. That fire came down and consumed everything. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces. See, tell you, Israel requires a sign, right? They fell on their faces. And they said, the Most High, here is the power. The Most High, here is the power. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. He said, don't let one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon and slew them there. Brought them down to the brook and killed them there. Put them to death, 450. And Elijah said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink. But there was sound of abundance of rain. He said, rain is coming. It was a famine. He said, rain is coming. Abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink. And Elijah went up to the top of Carmel. And he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees and said to his servant, go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there was nothing. And he said, go again 7 times. Do this 7 times. He went up 7 different times. But it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, behold, there arises a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand. And he said, go up, say unto Ahab, prepare thy chariot, and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. Say, prepare your chariot, you better get to moving before this rain come. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of the Most High was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. We're going to 1 Kings, the 19th chapter. And Ahab told Jezreel, that's his wicked wife, both of them wicked, all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Those are her prophets, right? Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. She was wicked. Woman with power. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life and came to Beersheba, which belonged to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, it is enough. Now, O Most High, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And as he lay and slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him. See, the Most High be sending angels to us. An angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. So that angel fed him, gave him something to eat. And the angel of the Most High came again the 2nd time, and touched him, and said, arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. You gotta eat, so you have your strength to make this journey. And he arose and did eat and drink, and went in the strength that meet 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of the Most High. The Most High deal with us like 40 days and 40 nights a lot of times, you know. And he came thither unto the cave and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Most High came to him through the angel. And he said unto him, what doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Most High power of hosts, power of army of angels. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left. And they seek my life to take it away. Wicked Israelites, which they did kill the prophets. And he said, go forth and stand upon the mount before the Most High. And behold, the Most High passed by. The Most High passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and break in pieces the rocks before the Most High. But the Most High was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Most High was not in the earthquake. Hear that? The Most High is a spirit. The earthquake happened, but the Most High wasn't in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Most High was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Most High power of hosts, power of army of angels, because the children of Israel have forsaken that covenant, the contract, the agreement that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the 12 tribes of Israel only. Thrown down thine altars and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And the Most High said unto him, Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shall thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha, the son of Shaphat, of Abel Meholah, shall thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. It's instead of him, instead of Elijah. And it came to pass that him that escaped the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay. So if you get away from Hazael, he say Jehu gonna kill him. And him that escaped from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Ain't no joke, boy. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel. He was reassuring him of this. He said, I have left 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal. Right? They ain't bowed down to Lord, which is Baal. Let me show you again. Baal, what it means. In the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Baal, you see what it says? Lord. He said, I'll read it again. 1 Kings 19 and 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. See that? So he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with, listen at this, Elisha was plowing with 7 yoke of oxen before him. You hear that? No, excuse me, 12 yoke of oxen before him. Not 7, but 12. That's 6 oxen on one side and 6 on the other side. And he's like this. You know, imagine that. What kind of strip he had? 6 oxen on this hand and 6 oxen. That's 12 oxen. Man, that's why the Most High said he shrank our stature. As time went on, we got smaller and smaller. Look, you talking about a mighty man. Verse 19, so he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him. And he was the 12th. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him, put his mantle upon him. And he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, Let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee. He said, let me go kiss my father and my mother before I leave. He said, I'm going to follow you. And he said to him, Go back again, but what have I done to thee? And he returned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slew them and boiled their flesh with the instruments of a whole oxen. You gotta look how much that food, how much food that is. And he returned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slew them and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he arose and went after Elijah and ministered unto him. Okay? I just want to read both of those chapters. Now we're going to go to 2 Kings, the 9th chapter. 2 Kings, the 9th chapter. We'll start at verse 1. 2 Kings, the 9th chapter. We're looking at this Jezebel, and we got to deal with her husband, King Ahab. So, and this is all going to come around. So, because you know, these 450 prophets that belong to Jezebel, that follow Baal, they just got smoked. So, 2 Kings, 9th chapter, and Elisha, the prophet, called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up thy loins, and take this box of oil in thy hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when thou comest thither, look out there Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in, and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to an inner chamber. Then take the box of oil, and pour it on his head, and say, Thus say the Most High, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door and flee, and tarry not. He said, anoint him with that oil, and open the door and run. Get out of there. So the young man, even the young man, the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. And when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting. And he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, unto which of us? He said, unto which of all us? And he said, to thee, O captain, talking about Jehu. And he arose and went into the house. And he poured the oil on his head and said unto him, Thus said the Most High Power of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of the Most High, even over Israel. So he was anointed king right there. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab, thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets. Selected. Master is also dealing with Baal 2. So I'll read it again. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab, thy power, that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Most High, at the hand of Jezebel. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish. So I'm going to kill every last one of his family members. And I will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall. That's men. That's boys. And him that is shut up and left in Israel. And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. And the dog shall eat Jezebel. You hear that? And the dog shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. He ran. Then Jehu came forth to the servants of his power, and one said unto him, Is all well? Everything okay? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? And he said unto him, ye know the man in this communication. You heard what he said. And they said, It is false. Tell us now. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus said the Most High, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then they hasted and took every man his garment and put it under him on the top of the stairs and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king. So Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram. Now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael, king of Syria. But King Joram was returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him when he fought with Hazael, king of Syria. And Jehu said, If it be your minds, then let none go forth, nor escape out of the city to go to tell it in Jezreel. Nobody escaped to go tell what has happened. So Jehu rode in his chariot and went to Jezreel, for Joram lay there. And Ahaziah, king of Judah, was come down to see Joram. And there stood a watchman on the tower in Jezreel. And he spied the company of Jehu as he came and said, I see a company. And Joram said, take in horsemen and send to meet them, and let him say, is it peace? They always want to know, you come for peace or you come for war? So there went out one horseback to meet him and said, thus said the king, is it peace? And Jehu said, what has I to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, the messenger came to them, but he cometh not again. So you sent him out, but he ain't come back. Then he sent out a second on horseback, which came to them and said, thus say the king, is it peace? And Jehu answered, what hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, he came even unto them, and cometh not again, just like the first one. And the driving is like the driving of Jehu, the son of Nimshi. For he driveth furiously. So he coming at you furiously. And Joram said, make ready. And his chariot was made ready. And Joram, king of Israel, and Ahaziah, king of Judah, went out, each in his chariot. And they went out against Jehu, and met him in the portion of Naboth, the Jezreelite. And it came to pass, when Joram saw Jehu, that he said, is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, what peace, so long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many? Look at that. He said her witchcrafts are so many. And Joram turned his hands and fled. Joram turned his hands and fled, and said to Ahaziah, there is treachery. There is treachery. Treason. O Ahaziah. And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength. Took that bow and arrow with his full strength and smote Jehoram between his arms. And the arrow went out of his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. Then said Jehu to Bidkar, his captain, take up and cast him in the portion